In 1936, Edward VIII, King of England and Emperor of the British Empire, that of course included Kenya at that time, an empire that was later conquered by Field Marshal Idi Amin Dada, conqueror of the British Empire. King Edward abdicated the throne. He abdicated because he had wanted to marry a woman. He loved a beautiful American woman whom he had wanted to marry. The British people could not allow this because that woman was not only a divorcee, but she was going through the second divorce in order to marry King Edward. And because of the love he had for this woman, he had to forego the sweetness of being the king and the emperor. What am I trying to get to? I'm trying to get to one thing, that power comes with some degree of sweetness, but that power also comes with responsibility, so that as you enjoy the power of being president, king, vice president, deputy president, prime minister, as you enjoy that sweetness, you must also remember that there are responsibilities that come your way. And I think this is what President Uhuru Kenyatta is telling his deputy William Samoei Ruto, that you cannot criticize government and you are part of that government. You cannot continue enjoying the sweetness of government and join the ordinary Kenyan in criticizing his or her government. This morning, therefore, I believe, and I have to share this with Kenyans, that William Samoei Ruto has three options, and none out of those three. Option number one is to resign from government. Option number two is to wait for an obvious impeachment. The third option is to surrender. Surrender, in my view, would have been the best option. Surrender simply meaning you give out your quest, at least for 2022, join Raila and Uhuru, and search for a leader that the two think can take this country forward after 2022. You may come 2027, 2032, age is on your side, even 2037. But that opportunity was squandered by William Samoei Ruto. From the time of the handshake, if he had been shrewd, intelligent, giraffic in view, he would have known he will not manage Raila and Uhuru. He therefore would have tactfully joined them. The last opportunity came with BBI. When BBI 2 was presented at the Bomas of Kenya, he came up in such an intelligent way. He gave conditions. I was thinking that he would have used that opportunity to crack through. He would have used that opportunity to say this, look here, this BBI doesn't seem to be a very bad thing. Yet if we don't handle it well, we can destroy our country. And therefore, I want us to sit down, Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka Mudavadi, and the rest of these people. Let's sit down and everything would be put on table. Nothing is off limit, including my bid for the presidency, including Raila's bid for the presidency. So that whatever would have been agreed on that table would have been what he would have gone with. Certainly, he would not have been made the presidential candidate, but it would have been a tactical surrender. That is squandered. He's left with the two options. Let me show you why resignation may be the best. Resignation is the best for William Samoei Ruto because in impeachment, you will go out with the terms of the person impeaching you. I'll come to that later. Resignation may be an option because you could time the resignation in such a way that it becomes a blow to Uhuru and Raila. Because impeachment is inevitable and it is not good, you will have to resign. You will only have to live with the pain of resignation, the pain of leaving power. Before King Edward, there was King Louis in 1848. There were emotions. Richard Nixon, if you watch the documentary on the resignation from White House, you could see Nixon crying literally with Dr. Henry Kissinger in the library. Leaving power is a painful thing, but I think you should leave power, and this is why. And that's why Uhuru Kenyatta may be right. Power comes with sweetness, but it comes with responsibility, I've said. You should not be like some village husbands in the traditional setup. They go and spend the whole day taking busao changa or kumikumi. And then in the evening they come home demanding meat. They are given ile mboga ya kienyeji ambayo hina hata mafuta, ni chumvi tu, ama ile githeri Wakikuyu wanaita 1, 2, 3 pelekea baba yako. And then they beat their wives. And yet they left nothing. This is a husband who wants to enjoy the sweetness of marriage, which includes a warm dish, a warm bed, but abdicates the responsibility of a husband of providing full shelter and clothing and something else, perhaps. So you cannot have both ways. You cannot enjoy the trappings of power. You cannot operate from the air-conditioned Harambee House Annex and from there join Manyora in criticizing government for messing the education of this country. You cannot enjoy the trappings of power. You cannot enjoy the sweetness of operating from the beautiful current home which we constructed at a cost of millions of shillings that would have constructed hundreds of primary schools. You cannot operate from current office and join me in blaming the government for a collapsed health care system. You cannot do that. You cannot ride in our limousines, powerful machines, consuming gallons and gallons of liters and liters of petrol, worth millions and millions of shillings, to go in some remote part of this country and join the villagers in that village to complain about the state of affairs in the country, about going to bed hungry. No, you have the responsibility to ensure those villagers take a meal a day at least, not necessarily 3 like you. So there's an element of truth. You cannot enjoy the trappings of power. You cannot fly over us in helicopters and at the end of the day, then join us in complaining about the state of the economy. The economy has taken a beating. This country is doing so badly that it pains me and other Kenyans to see a deputy president of a country lamenting like me. And that's why we blamed Uhuru Kenyatta when he told us, mnataka nifanye nini? It was so painful to hear the president admit there is corruption, but there was nothing he could do. What was he doing in State House? So you cannot surely do that to us. You must spare us the pain of witnessing and watching and listening a deputy president in a government complaining about the suffering we Kenyans are going through. So I advise you, you will have to resign from government out of principle. The king abdicated because of his love for a woman. William Samoei Ruto, I ask you to resign because of your love for hustlers, if indeed you love them. But if you don't, impeachment is coming. And listen, I don't want to repeat this because I've said it severally. Those who think Uhuru and Raila have no numbers are daydreaming. Those who think the hustler MPs have numbers, they are dreaming. Where were the numbers to impeach Waiguru? Where were the numbers when Waititi was impeached? Where were the numbers when Sonko was impeached? Where were the numbers when Kipchumba Murkomen was jettisoned out of leadership? Where were the numbers when Kika Kimani, Susan Kika was kicked out? Where were the numbers when Duale was kicked out? Duale says impeachment is not Sunday business, church business, whatever he said. He says it's not a birthday party. My friend, when Uhuru and Raila look for the numbers, they will get them. So impeachment is possible. I have always advised it is not wise. People have also argued, if you impeach William Samoei Ruto, you give him mileage. You add him bonga points, they say. Why? Because of the sympathy card. Now, why I'm saying impeachment is on the cards and is possible and it will not hurt Raila and Uhuru is this. That sympathy is gone. Why? Because Uhuru has come out in the open fighting and hitting at you. You know what's going to happen? You are going to begin hitting back like you did yesterday. The moment you begin hitting back, you are falling into the trap set for you by Uhuru Kenyatta. You are reacting. He's drawing you into the ring. And the moment you enter the ring, William Samoei Ruto, the moment you enter the ring, you are as much a fighter as Uhuru and Raila. And therefore, when you are floored, there is no sympathy. Now that you are being drawn into answering Uhuru back, you are doing exactly what he wanted. And what's going to happen is, they will punch you. The referee will count 1, 2, 3, up to 10. William Samoei Ruto, you still be on the canvas. And there will be no sympathy because you have been drawn into the ring. You have allowed yourself to be drawn into the ring. And therefore, when the impeachment comes, if you wait for it, there will be no sympathy for you. None whatsoever.